Hi, this is Justin from ScaleModelScenery.co.uk. Just going to do a quick video to show you how to wrap the concrete or central sections on the concrete Hardstanding kit. There was a few people asked questions last week about how to wrap them, what the best way is to do it. So this is a centre section from the LX96 kit. I've got the texture sheet, one of the texture sheets. I've trimmed the white edge off, so we've got just the concrete to work with. I'm going to show you two different techniques. One will be for wrapping the edges of the concrete, and the other one will just be covering the surface of the concrete strip. So what I do, you've got the trimmed sheet and your piece of wood. Same technique applies for all of the different size sections for the concrete Hardstanding, and this also applies for other things as well, whatever else you want to cover with a texture sheet. So what I do first is I line up the Hardstanding with the printed texture sheet on the MDF layer, and then I just mark roughly with a pencil where I want the glue to be. And lift that away, I've got a nice mark there, so that's the area I want the glue in. Now I tend to use Yoo-hoo. This is my personal preference. A lot of people don't like Yoo-hoo, but I quite like it because it's easy. I find it easy to work with, to be honest. What I do is to do a kind of scribbling technique with the glue. I'm not squeezing the glue hardly at all. I'm just letting the glue run out onto the MDF, and I'm trying to get a nice even coat the best I possibly can on here. So I'll cover the section. I'm going up to the pencil mark this end here, and I'm just covering this section of MDF with glue. It starts to go off quite quickly, so it's becoming tacky already, but that's good. We want it that way because we don't want it to start oozing out from underneath the paper. So that's a good enough cover on there. So if we give it a few seconds just to start going off, and then we can now line up the paper on the MDF section. So just line up the edges nice and neatly, and then start to smooth it down with the fingers. The other reason I quite like Yoo-hoo is it gives you a little bit of time to work with these sheets and move it around if you need to, just to get it level with the edges like that. And when you're happy, smooth it down. Just watch when you're going along the edge, just so you don't get any glue come out from underneath, like that. So that's that section done. So let that dry for just a few seconds. That should be enough. Turn it over. Hopefully, see if the glue's nice and tacky, nothing oozes out from underneath, so it leaves you with a nice clean edge there. Then turn the MDF over, nice sharp blade, and then just run your knife down there between, or in the corner between the texture sheet and the MDF. I'll do a couple of light runs with the knife just to make sure that I don't pull at the texture or anything and cause it to tear. There we go, and there we have a nice covered section of Hardstanding. The other way you can do it is by wrapping the edges, because this version here, obviously this is going in between track sections, so you won't really see that edge. You could paint it a dark grey if you wanted to disguise it. Otherwise, if you want to wrap it, I'd do a similar thing. We're going to have to go with a joint on this one though, but that's just an expansion gap on there. So we're going to put that on there like that. We're going to wrap the edges round. So cover the rest of the board now with Yoo-hoo. I'm going as close as I dare to the other piece of paper, texture paper, and try not to get any glue on it there. You can use Pritt stick or any other sort of paper glue for this, but I just like Yoo-hoo. Just used to working with it. That'll do. It's starting to go tacky. What I don't want is, I definitely don't want anything coming out from underneath the edge on the join. So let's put that on. We'll go for a central expansion gap. So we'll put that on there. I'm going to butt it up nice and close. There's just enough to look like an expansion gap there in between the two. So they're not overlapping, they've butted up nice and neatly. I'm just going to rub this down along the end of the rest of that strip. And we can turn this over and trim this one off as well. Right, so while that's drying, as we're going to wrap it round, we just need to trim off a bit of the surplus. We don't need to go right up close now to the MDF, so I'm going to whiz down here, leave about 1 centimetre on every side of this. Goes down like that. Lock that off there. Okay, now on the ends, obviously you could wrap it a bit like a parcel, but the problem is you'd end up with it quite thick there, where the paper bunches up on top of each other. So what I tend to do is I just do a cut straight down from the end like that. You can get technical and do it with a ruler, but freehand's all right for the purpose of the exercise. And then the same in that corner. Right, and again, glue. Just put a bit of glue on the end. That tab there. Just do it a tab at a time. And what I then do is, if you rub the corner, as you bend it round, you get a nice sharp edge on it. So you do that with both the top corner and the bottom, or the top edge and the bottom edge. And then just pinch it down on there. Gives you a nice crisp edge there on that one. And then do the same for the larger tabs. Put the glue on both tabs this time, and then saves messing about. That's enough. So again, rub along the edge so you start to get a nice crisp edge appear as you rub. And do it again on the back edge. Just gently kind of pinching it as I go to work it round until we get to the glue, and there we go. Looks nice and tidy. Same with the other side. And there we go. Pretty much. There, one wrapped piece of concrete hardstanding. So choice is yours. Either cover the top surface, or you can wrap it round and go for a fully disguised edge. This works brilliant on the outer edges of the hardstanding, actually, where you've got this perhaps going to a bit of ballast or grassed area and things like that. So that's how to wrap concrete hardstanding. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers.